The biggest, most important thing about ARPGs is the fact that you feel very powerful. You're going there with your build that you made yourself and destroy everything around you with no effort at all. And this is something the last Epoch has completely achieved for not only veterans, but for new players too. I don't know what the f I'm doing in this game, and honestly, I feel so powerful. And I'm having such a good time with my build that I made myself, and it's not meta at all. Unlike what's happening on Path of Exile 2, if you know what I mean. In this video, we're gonna go through everything that last Epoch is doing great and why I think it really should be played by you. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning, and let's get into it. Last Epoch starts slow. Every ARPG in order for you to feel powerful later, but also learn all of your class. This was me in level 2 or 3, and of course in Act 1. And this was me in Act 3, just a few hours later, feeling way more powerful, even though I created my build from scratch. The campaign experience is absolutely super fun. You're upgrading your items, you're killing everything around you, you're learning the mechanics of the game while you're doing the campaign. It doesn't even feel like a campaign, it feels like you're in Endgame from the start. Well, maybe not from Act 1, but suddenly after you're feeling super powerful and like you're actually making progress. You can do the dungeons while you're doing the campaign. You can get most of the endgame mechanics in the campaign, like these little lizards that drop you insane amount of loot. You can upgrade your gear with the different shards. You can interact with shrines that give you loot and also make you way more powerful, giving you abilities from other classes and sometimes your own to do an insane amount of damage to everyone around you and make you feel absolutely overpowered. There are even shrines that give you an insane amount of loot lizards all at the same time. And also this one that teleports you to the end of the dungeon floor, which is absolutely crazy. And if you actually want, you can just go to the end of time and just skip the whole campaign, go to the monoliths and start them at level like 20 or something, and just skip most of the campaign, level up through here, getting an insane amount of levels, and then coming back to the campaign to check the amount of passive points, rewards, and idle slots that you need from the side quest and from the normal quests. Whatever you want to do in the way that you want to do it, you can. And that not only applies to the actual gameplay and campaign leveling process, but also about your build. Whatever build you want to make, you most likely will be able to do it. Almost every ability has some sort of interaction with each other. Surge, for example, interacts with Lightning Blast and Static. They trigger each other. Enchant Weapon makes you trigger Elemental Nova every time you use it if you want to go for that. Attacks like Flame Reef can transform themselves into lightning instead of fire. And there's a special Fireball unique that transforms into full lightning, making you be able to do a light ball, I guess, build if you so want it. Everything interacts with each other, and you can search for the nodes in your skills if you really want one ability specifically to see if it has some sort of interaction with it, and then make a combination perfectly for your build. The game heavily rewards you for you trying new things. This build was made for me, where every ability triggers Smite on my Sentinel. Every attack creates a lightning coming out of the sky, which is super fun, and I made it by myself, just checking out notes and trying to make everything around Smite. And whatever build you like, whatever spell you like, you can make it work if you go through the notes, if you go through the uniques and, think about how everything interacts with each other. And if it doesn't work, you can just go in there and respec. You can go into your nodes, click on one of the weapons, respec each point and level them up again while just doing your normal playthrough. Or you can respec the entire skill and try another one. And when you do this, the skill will start at your minimum skill level, which in this case is 10. So I'll instantly get 10 points to spend as soon as I specialize it. Unlike something like Path of Exile, when if you do this, you will most likely have to spend a lot of money or even create a new character. Now you can even change the specialization between whatever you have in the end time hub. And once you get to endgame, the game becomes so much bigger and fun. For example, we have this very specific system, Nemesis. This, oh my god, this is the best. You get this little 4 choice of items, but it's not a choice, you get all of them, okay? and you can decide to empower them and transform any of these ones into a way better version of themselves. So for example, this one become it would become purple, right? This one become pink, which is a legendary item, right? And if you really like the options over here, you can choose to do that. So you can go in here and be like, oh yeah, I really like this unique, I want to make a legendary item. Or you can banish them and get another version for the next time you actually come here. Or you can challenge it and just skip the upgrade system. I don't know why you would ever take that, like every time you should empower it, honestly. And it's absolutely great. It's super cool to empower it 3 times to level those items up, fighting the final boss at the end, and getting yourself an insane amount of loot. I mean, look at this explosion of loot. Ooh, look at all that. You also have 3 dungeons to go through, one to upgrade your legendary, well, your unique items with legendary potential, to merge them together and make a better version of them. Just like you can see right here, the Soulfire Bastion, where you go in there and get a lot of currency from that specific dungeon, where you can gamble for very specific items, very specific uniques, or the Lila's Arbor dungeon, where you destroy this little tree, get yourself a lot of interesting uniques, and then talk to the tree and pay gold in order to get a better chance of getting the items that you actually want. That's without even considering the monolith system, that is essentially like maps, where they give you very specific type of rewards for each one you do. It's not boring because you actually get yourself, every map is a bit different with different objectives. Some of them have bosses. It is so cool and not monotonous. The best thing is that every type of item you actually acquire will have some sort of use. Set items, you can go into the Forge of Shattering to shatter them and get yourself the set that it had for another type of item. If you get a good exotic that you don't want to use because you already have a unique, you can save it up in order to merge it with it to get one of the specific stats from the item into the unique with legendary potential. If you get a unique that you actually don't use, you can just go in the vendor, sell it, and use it to gamble or to go into Lila's Arbor to use that gold to get more items. If you get yourself an item that you don't require for yourself in terms of quality, for example, it's just a rare, you can go in here into the forge, shatter it, and use the specific shards that you get to upgrade other items that you might actually want instead. If you get yourself an idol that is not perfect but quite good, you can use the new system on the Cemetery of the Erased, where you can spend a little bit of the Memory Amber currency to change the added stat. You also have the new Woven system, where you get essentially special maps that give you the Weaver tree points to use to get yourself better wards on them. For example, and this was my favorite one, you can get yourself more loot lizards and more shrine loot lizards. And whenever you kill a lizard or you get a rare champion, you get more lizards. And whenever you kill a lizard, maybe you cut their tail, getting you even more unique items. And there's so much more in this little tree. Even though it looks a bit weird and a bit big, it is way easier than the Path of Exile tree, in my opinion. And you can get the exact type of gameplay you want by checking the notes, searching for lizard or shrine or mages or getting Excel mages or whatever you want yourself. And this is just the beginning. There's so much good quality of life in this game, and everything kind of works together. Just have the perfect end game. Feels super satisfying from start to finish. Now let's talk about a few other things that I found very good, but well, they're kind of random, but I want to mention them anyways. We have WSD now. You can just move around whenever you want, and it still needs a little bit of work on it, but it's still pretty good, and you can move at the same time with WSD as you have your mouse going. Now there should be a priority, so if I press from one side and I click, it always goes from one side to the side that I click. It should have an option to change the priority as you want, but it's pretty cool regardless. Loot filters in the game are super nice, especially for new players. Use add a new rule. For example, let's say that you're actually searching for one specific effect in your item. You can just go add condition, go to effects, boom, search for, let's say that you need physical resistance, search for physical resistance, click on it, confirm, and then make it show or emphasize so it capitalizes the item or whatever your option is. You can even recolor it, so whenever you get an item like that, boom, it just goes to a very specific color. You know that that item has that. And of course you can make it as complicated as you want, but for a new player and to start, this is absolutely great and super easy to use. You also have a game guide inside of the game for whatever you need and you don't understand. You can just put it here, search for it. For example, let's say attunement, and it will tell you exactly what it is with a perfect definition of it made by the developers. Who needs a wiki when you just have it right inside of the game? This game also has numbers. I know, crazy. I completely forgot that Path of Exile doesn't have damage numbers when you're actually killing something. It's so satisfying to see them go up whenever your build goes becomes better and better, and it's just so satisfying with the combat. Want to see my big number go up? I am a gamer. The evade now is way more smooth. Before it used to be super weird and like kind of dodge lucky, like kind of like animation lucky. Now you just feel like you're playing like, I don't even know if I would say a Souls game, but like, I don't know, Hollow Knight or something. It reminds me of that dash, to be honest. It feels like a dash more like an actual dodge. It's super nice to use. You can actually have different abilities interact with it, change it, and make it way more interesting. So yeah, the combat feels super good right now. Dying is way less punishing too. For example, let's say that I actually died on this very specific moment right here. Everything that's on the screen will come out on the death screen, and you'll be able to pick it up. For example, this item right here will pick up, even if it's a unique, even if it's something blue, whatever it is. If it's in your screen, it'll appear there, so you can check it out and get it back. They're also super good with feedback. For example, this very specific Eternity Cache to upgrade your legendary items. Before, it would be a random item. Now, on a higher level of this, you can actually pick the one that you want, so you don't get randomly memed by getting yourself an attribute that you didn't actually want. And there are so many other instances of the actually hearing to feedback that we have given and iterating on it, fixing it. And I'm sure that we're going to get even more of that. And I think the biggest reason why that is the case is because these people that made this game are indeed gamers just like us. This game was made by people who met in ARPG Reddits in the comments and decided, we don't like any of the actual ARPGs that we have right now, let's make our own. You can see this specifically in the settings, as they have a very good memes in the middle of it. For example, stream mode. If your gameplay is smooth but your stream is stuttering, enable this option. Disable some options below. This will not give you better and loot drops. And of course, also this one, my favorite one personally, music volume. Absolute bangers for you old gamers. User interface volume. Clicks, things, and wazaz. It is very telling to me that the people that make this game really do care about it, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm so invested in it. I'm gonna keep playing it, I'm gonna keep making videos for it. I'm so excited for the future. I hope that they get a good amount of updates in terms of fast they're going. I hope that we're not gonna get one of these updates every year, but instead every few months. We'll see how it goes, but I'm very excited for it. If you are having the same experience or you don't, please let me in the comments. Tell me in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning and see my 0 to hero from this build and maybe even more. And see you guys around. Love you all. Bye.